For our next interview, we're meeting Vinny Pisco from Piscopo Gardens, the world of Piscopo Gardens. Welcome to our program, Vinny.
Thank you for having me. Yes, I'm very well, and it's an honor to be here, to be able to talk about Piscopo Gardens.
Definitely. We know you've grown so much over the last 30 years, is it?
Yes, this year.
I've been in Malta for 28 years, and I've seen the transition of Piscopo Gardens, growing.
Yeah.
Today, you offer such a wide service. Today, we're going to be talking about some of the products you offer, the services, because sometimes people think a garden centre just sells plants, but there's a lot more involved.
Much more. In fact, I think the misconception is that it's only just plants. But when you come to Piscopo Gardens, example, in Bourmarat, so we have two outlets. We have the one in Bourmarat and we have the one in Zabbar. The one in Bourmarat is obviously the larger shop where you can find the largest selection when it comes to plants, indoor or outdoor. But as you said, it's not just limited to plants, where you can also find pots, different pots, whether it's plastic, ceramic, stone pots, concrete pots, all different types of fertilizers, the care that you need to, obviously our team can help you with the care that you need to for your plants. Because as we know, indoor plants and outdoor plants require different things. Apart from coming to be able to spend some time with us at Piscopo and then maybe enjoy an hour or two in our...
Yes, it's an outing, because there's so much to see.
Agreed. And in fact, during the week, it's mostly people coming for the little errands, unless you have the older generation that come and spend their time with us. I mean, we offer as well services to schools where they can come with kids and do outings at our premises, and even coffee mornings for the elderly or physically impaired. Whoever wants to come can enjoy this place where it can be peace and quiet.
To me, it's like an outing.
Yes, it is.
You come, you relax your mind and your senses.
Yes.
When we're surrounded by plants, greenery, all of this, I do feel as though it's very beneficial for you.
I have the best job in the world. I look out of my window and I just have green, and it's like, yes. I think the best time I enjoy the garden centre the most is when we close, obviously after 6 o'clock, because we're open from Monday to Sunday from 9 o'clock in the morning till 6 in the evening. We do not close at Bourmarat. And it is so peaceful then when at 6 o'clock you see all the birds coming to nest and go to sleep. And the garden centre is just peace and quiet. And
it
it's
is
just
beautiful.
Like beautiful.
You've grown, as we said, over the last 30 years, because this is 30 years.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember just like the garden centre with the pots, the trellis, the soil and the plants. Today, the services you offer are huge. Let's start with, you've introduced your pet section, obviously, in the past years.
So we cater for anything, any kind of pet and anything you might need for your pets from A to Z. Apart from that, there's a groomer on site where you can book your appointments to come and obviously take care of your pets. Apart from the pet section, we also have what we call an indoor department. Basically, we've seen in the market where clients like to have plants, but fear that they don't have enough knowledge to care for them or the time to do it.
Yes.
And we've been approached by quite a few clients, as well as we approached ourselves, gaming companies, offices, who many times you have change of staff, so maybe not everyone is so green-fingered. And
so this is like indoor rental landscaping, am I correct?
Pretty much, yes. And we can go
residential, I suppose, and commercial?
Yes, we can do anything, literally. If you want a jungle in your house, we can take care of it. If you just want to embellish your office, we can take care of that as well. Obviously, landscaping is not only indoor in Malta. We lack a lot of outdoor landscaping, and unfortunately, there aren't so many.
The trends are changing. We are realising we need to be greener, and we benefit from it.
Yes, it's good for us health-wise, one. Number two, without oxygen, we don't live.
Yes.
So honestly and truly, apart from it being more peaceful, as a better frame of mind and better beneficial for you health-wise, we need it, the world needs it. So automatically, yes, landscaping itself outdoors has changed. Why? Because before there were many more houses with back gardens. Now you don't find them so much anymore, unfortunately.
But we did have a trend as well, Vinny, where people had a lot of fruit trees, and just fruit trees.
Yes.
Whereas today we're realising it's beautiful to have fruit trees.
Yeah, but I
we
want
also
palm
need
trees
recreational space for us to enjoy. We live in a hot country. It's hot in Malta.
Yes.
Is it 8-9 months of the year we can eat outside?
Pretty much.
You know, so we need that space to enjoy time with our friends and family. So
agreed.
Great to have the space for the fruit trees, which is great.
But they're not everything. But it was, I think, back in the day where...
Is it 70s?
Yes,
60s?
pretty much. Wartime, I think they used to have such the old houses with the really, really high walls that used to protect citrus trees, because citrus trees, you cannot have them. They don't like wind. They like sun, but they don't like wind. So I think it was one way that they could benefit something from the garden as well. So everyone was always doing fruit to be able to give to the neighbors, to the families and whatever.
No, they still do. Because I often get a bag from a neighbor as well in Zebbuch.
I can tell you, COVID was honestly the peak where people started realizing, like, if something happens, how can I take care of myself? And yes, it is easy to be able to feed your own self. It's just obviously creating an area where you can do and create such vegetables.
So landscaping, I presume, we will talk in the future about landscaping.
Yes.
Outdoor landscaping, ideally, if someone is as a property which is shell form, naked, or a total refurb, we need to speak to you straight away before we start working because of waterworks, and you need to do a plan, a setup, a design.
Agreed. I think first and foremost, if you are in the middle of creating your home, do not... Yes, okay, plants and trees are the last thing to enter the property many times.
But you don't tile and do all the wall finishes.
No, and then come to us.
Yes,
exactly. Because usually the first question is always, do you have water and where do you want what? Because, yes, certain trees are going to require a certain kind of volume of water. Other trees may be
systems.
Yes, Piscopo can do that. Piscopo Gardens does full irrigation, pathways, we do weed mat, we do actual planting, designs for your garden. So anything you might need, I mean, our tagline is one of life's little pleasures.
And it is.
Yes, because the garden has become a pleasure. Not everyone has the opportunity to have one, but at least if you have one, make sure that you maintain it well and enjoy it as much as possible.
You know, even something as small as a balcony today, like you were saying before, I mean, you can come in with your team. Ideally, you need to see the elements as well. That's very important. Elements, whether it's a garden, a terrace, a roof terrace, you need to buy plants and have plants which are sustainable up on that space. Wind,
example, if you live in
heat.
Slema and you're on the Slema front, you cannot have any kind of plant that you would like, because you're going to come back to me after a month and tell me, like, listen, it's brown, what happened to it, you know? So obviously, yes, there are certain plants we can use for certain locations, and even indoor plants, same concept, because it is, if you're in a TV studio, there's going to be limited natural light. If you're in a house of character, again, limited natural light. If you're going to be in a block of apartments, again, it's a different kind of scenario. Then you have houses which have like these massive aluminium doors or glass doors where you're going to have a lot of natural light. So over there you can play with a bit better. So I think the best thing one could do to maybe embellish whatever location, if it's an office, if it's a house, residential, commercial, whatever it is, that wants to add plants, come talk to us, come and listen, have a chat and tell me, listen, I would like to do this. This is my vision. And we can guide you and go, listen, Piscopo can offer you these items in line with what you would like. That will not create a hassle for you to maintain if you don't want us to maintain it for you.
You know, sometimes we tend to go on Pinterest too much. It's good to go on Pinterest.
And they look fabulous.
And they look fabulous, but they might even be plants that come to Malta or live in Malta.
Agreed.
So it's important to sort of have a vision, and it's nice to bring some photos of, I really like this style or design.
Agreed.
But it's very important to listen to you and your team to see which is accessible and which will survive.
Exactly. You know, I start off from the first thing. You don't walk into a garden centre and you say, you really like this. Okay, guidance to who's helping you choose the plant. Yes, fine. You tell him, listen, I prefer this bouquet or that flower or this type of leaf and whatever. But you, the first thing you have to start off with is, where am I going to put it? And what are the elements that affect this area? Or what are my lighting conditions? And many other questions, which we'll go into detail when we'll talk about the indoor.
I feel as though we could talk all day.
Yes. Leave me open and I can go on forever.
So Piscopo Gardens, today we're here with Vinny Piscopo. 2 outlets, Hazza Bar as well as Burmarat.
Yes, exactly.
Maybe you want to pass on an email address, telephone number where people can contact you.
Burmarat 21583755. Obviously, we're open from every day, from Monday to Sunday. Zabar, I don't know the number by heart,
but it's on the screen. It's on the screen.
But basically, Zabar opens from Monday to Saturday because obviously Sunday it's more of a village core, so it's not so busy. But come and visit us. Obviously, Burmarat is always open 7 days a week, so we're always. It's always a pleasure to have you all.
It is, and believe me, even if you're not buying a plant, the idea is you're buying a plant, you're buying stuff for your home, but just going there, being in that beautiful environment, and I'm sure you will not leave with nothing in your hands. It's guaranteed. Take the whole family. Thank you, Vinny. I look forward to speaking to you soon.
For sure.